Hello everyone and welcome to my channel, Siriana Tarot. This is going to be a reading for March 17th, 2020. Happy St. Patrick's Day for those of you guys who celebrate, and all my love to the Irish. I love my Irish friends. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started with this reading. I'm working on your spring 2020 love readings, so don't forget to keep an eye out for those. And I hope you guys have also checked out your full moon and Virgo readings, which go until we have the next full moon in Libra. So go ahead and check out your sun, moon, rising, and Venus signs there. I am also inviting you guys to come and visit me on Instagram if that's something that you would like to do. And I'll put some information in my in the community section or in the box below. All right, so without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this reading. This is a message for the collective for all signs, March 17th, St. Patty's Day, 2020. All right, message for the collective, March 17th, 2020. Message for the collective, March 17th, 2020. And this week, as I said before, we're going old school. We're going to be using the original Rider-Waite and then some older oracle decks. All right, so we've got the Knight of Swords in reverse. We've got the Queen of Swords in reverse. Sorry, guys. There's some illegal activity happening outside. All right, so we've got everything coming out in reverse. So you guys might be feeling a little bit turned upside down, but it's a good thing because you have the Devil in reverse, Capricorn energy. This is detaching from negative thought patterns, behaviors, toxic relationships, feelings of, saying I'm not worthy of all the wonderful things that are coming my way. This is also, getting rid of relationships that might be parasitic or that might be or that are, that aren't giving to you what you're putting into them. Underneath that, you do have the Nine of Cups in reverse, so it takes us back to the Eight of Cups, which is somebody walking away in search of their ninth cup of their happiness and their wish fulfillment. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces energy, and underneath there, we do have the Sun. Let me just make sure. They're not all upside down, but a lot of them are. And underneath there, we do have the Sun. So there does need to be a little bit of renewal. There needs to be a little bit, for some of you might need to work on that solar plexus chakra, and maybe even your sacral chakras as well. Just about being creative, standing in your power, and just trying to take a more optimistic approach. We also do have some astrological transits and changes going on. So Mercury's going back into Pisces, or I believe it's Mercury moving into Pisces, if I'm not mistaken. And this is going to make us sort of relax a little bit, feel a little bit more optimistic, okay? All right, so what's going on here? So all of these cards are in reverse. Interesting. So let's go ahead and we'll take a look at the Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords is Libra, Gemini, Aquarius energy. This is fast-moving communication. This is somebody who knows what they want. They know how to get it, and they have almost tunnel vision, almost taking a dogmatic approach to whatever this is. But when it's in reverse, it's a lack of clarity. It's somebody who's kind of swinging around wildly. Not really, they've lost their direction. They don't know why they're doing what they're doing. They're just sort of doing it and aimlessly, and they're going to be exhausted. So again, this could come in the form of communication. Somebody who's just sort of saying things without really knowing what they're saying or why they're saying it. Or it could just be that's how you feel like you were on your path, but now you're sort of moving around in circles and you don't know which way is up. So a little bit of confusion there. We have more air energy, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius energy with this Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords is usually, this could relate to an ex-partner. It could, she's usually a widow or somebody who is divorced. So, take that how it resonates. But in the reverse, she has allowed her shadow side to take over. Okay. And, Spirit is saying, this is a big warning. Do not let, the dark side, your shadow side, your fears, anxieties, don't let them polarize you right now. Okay. Don't stand anchored in that fear. Make sure that you're working through self-care and you're taking a look at any sort of self-sabotaging thoughts or behaviors that you might be engaging in. And it might have been, and it's not just now, it could be something that's been long term. We're triggered by certain events or certain relationships or something that somebody says or does. And, if we find ourselves constantly reacting in a way that we're not happy with, or in a way that we don't really understand, with, a tinge of negativity there, right? Because sometimes we react superbly and we don't quite understand why we did that either. But this is more in a negative sense. So take a look at it and see if it's something there that you need to go back and heal, or if you can go back and take a good hard look in the mirror and see what it is you need to move away from. All right, the Knight of Pentacles is Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy, and this is the slowest moving knight. This immediately, I'm getting someone who's not taking care of their health and their appearance. Okay, so again, this is often a clue, especially if you're dealing with anybody with mental health issues, anxiety, or depression, to also be vigilant. How are people presenting themselves? Because if somebody who normally, does their hair and makeup, or normally, looks nice, and all of a sudden they're showing up disheveled and dirty, or they're letting themselves go physically, it's a reflection of what's going on the inside. And I don't mean, as in, they don't look the way they used to. Nothing, it's not a superficial thing. Okay, it's more about just seeing what's happening on the outside as a reflection of what's going on the inside. The Knight of Pentacles, when he's in the upright, he's, again, slow moving, very steady, very directed energy. Somebody who's patient and hardworking. He won't get off his horse. He knows what he's going to do with this. He's, very well educated, whether that's in school or with experience, life experience, and he's going to stay the course. And here it's like he's getting bored, or he's lost direction, or he's run into too many delays, or he's getting antsy and he doesn't have it in him to continue on. But what's beautiful is we have the Four of Cups. This is Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. This is actually Moon in Cancer. And in the upright, somebody is being offered a blessing here, but they're either rejecting it, or they're just focused on the wrong thing. Okay, so again, this is kind of a warning for those of you who might feel like you have tunnel vision, might be focusing more on the negative aspect of a relationship, of life in general, things that are going on, situations, world events. It could be anything here. But Spirit is saying this is beautiful, because you will end up. This Four of Cups in reverse takes us back to this Three of Cups, which is reunions. There is happiness, there's joy, it's celebration. So you might be getting good news, okay? But the Four of Cups is also all of a sudden either accepting the blessings or being able to see the blessings, because somebody here, he's actually looking up instead of focusing on these Three Cups and this disappointment and kind of this boredom and looking at all of the negative things. Okay, and as far as, it's funny, I saw a meme that I would love to repost if I can, and it says, it's a reaction to world events and all of the closings, and it says conversations aren't canceled, self-care isn't canceled, reading books, talking to your friends, none of that is canceled. So, trying to reframe it, trying to look up and see things that don't seem like a blessing as a major blessing. All right, so I kind of, I didn't want to go back and keep hitting on that theme, but it seems like Spirit's not going to let me, that I need to keep sort of repeating myself here, but in a good way, okay? All right, so let's go ahead and see what additional messages we have for the collective for St. Patrick's Day, March 17th, 2020. All right, and we get patience and planning. I love this because we have these two columns. All right, this is the Seven of Pentacles. So this is, this is all about, be patient. Figure out, where is it, how is it you want to direct your time, your energy, your love, and your resources, especially those of us who find ourselves with a lot more time on our hands. Are there books that you've always wanted to read? Is there something that you wanted to clean that, you were always too busy to do? Are you, maybe it's time to write a letter to somebody, a family member who lives far away. And for some of you, someone's been thinking about actually handwriting like a thank you card or something like that. Now is is the time to do it. Now is the time to, get those online courses finished, or, maybe there was something that you really wanted to do, whatever it might be. All right, so have patience and direct your resources, your time, your energy, love appropriately. Now we have the Nine of Swords. This is suffering in silence. So I'm feeling like, again, some of you out there might be really sort of anchored in this fear-based thinking, fear and anxiety, worst case scenario type mindset. And it's so much easier said than done. But if that's the case, it's really important that you can create a loving, supportive environment for yourself, whether that's a bubble bath, whether that's in your bed underneath your fluffy blankets and listening to music that you love, whether it's cooking. Some people maybe it's baking. Okay, for some of you, I really see that. But doing these things that you love and getting out, creating this supportive environment for you to heal and to focus on your inner wisdom. Because when we have this Nine of Swords energy, it's like we can't focus, we can't hear our own inner wisdom. Okay, and that's because we're reacting, or we're being baited into reacting a certain way. Okay, and so Spirit's like, okay, how can we sort of circle the wagons here, you guys? All right, and then we get stand your ground. So you have another 7 coming out. That's the 7 of Wands. So this is rising above, any sort of hysteria, any mania, these negative thoughts. Remember, this is worst case scenario thinking. It's time to get out of that. How are you going to get out of that? Understand that you have to be patient. Understand that you need to be aware, that you need to take precautions at this time, but that's where it sort of ends, right? You don't have control over the situation other than being prepared as much as possible and rising above, okay? Number 77 is a master number, which is beautiful because it is all about your spiritual journey here. And, it's the path of, it's the path of the mystic. It's spirit work, it's spiritual leadership, and it's truth and purification of the ego. So take this time, Spirit is saying again, and I'm repeating myself, but take this time to create this loving, supportive environment within, also, so that you can finally hear and listen to your inner wisdom and do your prayers and your meditation and your energy work to make sure that you are aligned and ready to receive the messages that you're meant to receive at this time. At the bottom of the deck, we do have the transformation card. This is the death card. This is Scorpio. So there's a major transformations that are taking place. There might be transportation as well. But there's some major transformations taking place at this time, and see it as a good thing. And the whole world is changing right now, and this is a much needed change, you guys. Much needed change. So yeah, it's never going to be easy. There's going to be some bumps in the road, and just like all of these cards came out upside down, your world might be feeling flipped upside down, but try to enjoy it. Try to see the beauty in it. Getting out of your comfort zone, it's a good thing. That's what's necessary for evolution and for change. Whoops, I'm pulling from the wrong deck. Before we pull an oracle card, I'm going to go ahead and pull some numerology cards for you guys. So let's go ahead and see what additional messages Spirit has for the collective, March 17th, 2020. Nature. 74. 74 breaks down to an 11, okay, which is a card about balance. And this is also the importance, right now, if, is getting out in nature for balancing. If you can take a walk, if you can walk your dog, walk through the forest, make sure, try to get more in touch with nature, because I feel like we're being very supported at this time, especially in the northern hemisphere. Spring is springing, or spring has sprung or is about to. So just take a look and find solace there, find grounding. And especially if you guys are feeling anxiety or fear, depression, getting out and walking, taking a walk in the park or in the woods is a beautiful, beautiful thing. All right, and then you get individuality. Look at that. So you have 11 and 11. Absolutely gorgeous. So again, I do feel like I feel like individuality is there. Will be more, you will be spending more time on your own, but this is also a really great time to do more self-care and to work on yourself. It's like a built-in rest period, you guys. Number 11, it represents, the number 11 is a portal, and here we have an 1111 card, okay, which is beautiful, and it's a gateway to walk through. And we also see that there with that 7 card, right? We see this gateway. And it can be a call to initiation into passage. So again, what we saw at the bottom of this deck was the transformation. So remember, you guys, this is a passage from one way of being to another, okay? And according to Pythagoras, 11 is the number of a cycle of new beginnings. So the vibration of 11 can be challenging to handle, and we're seeing that here in this reading. And we're even feeling it as a collective, okay? When you're seeing this 1111, think double the challenge and new beginnings and beautiful new beginnings. This numerological vibration will also speed up manifestation of your thoughts and feelings. So make sure that you're keeping your vibration high and that you're not anchored in that worst case scenario or negative thoughts. Okay. It's associated with light, awakening, and intuitive insight. So a lot of you are having this spiritual awakening at this time as well. Okay. So yeah. So this is amazing. And I feel like also with this, with global events, it's triggering mass awakenings and also a shift in how we see each other. We're moving out of seeing, being individualist, regionalist, moving out of, just this is the, my country, stay out. And that sort of thing. And kind of like this is affecting human beings, like we're all in this together. And, there's a real beauty. There's a real beauty in that message. All right, so let's go ahead and see what additional messages. This is the card that wants to come out. You guys get this one, Ascension. This came out yesterday, you guys. And believe me, I have shuffled this deck a number of times. Move into your true self, rise above the darkness. The light is here. So again, you guys, this is another reading about ascension. This is a portal. This is a huge, huge transformation. Okay, and underneath that, look, we do have the world, we do have the Four of Cups. You need to look up, you need to reframe your thinking. Some of you might not be seeing what it is you're meant to be seeing, and you're seeing this as a true blessing. And underneath that, you get the Universe card. Yeah, this is spiritual big jobs, you guys. As that's something I take from Gemstone Tarot, who I think is amazing. This is a major, major awakening, you guys, and this is on a global level, and this is on the collect. This is of the collective as well. So wow, this is pretty special. All right, you guys, I'm gonna leave it there. I hope everybody is healthy and safe and enjoying St. Patty's Day, even though it may be different than our other St. Patty's Days. But remember how much I love you. Remember that we're all in this together. Remember to get out of this fear-based thinking. Again, if that means shutting off the news and going for a walk in the woods, do it. All right. I love you guys so much. Thank you for all the love and support that you show this channel. And I hope you guys have an absolutely beautiful day. Take care.